Good evening, dear sisters and brothers. Welcome to the evening session of Being Heartful Every Day with Swadhyaya. Today is the day 14 and we are in week 2 and we continue our sacred exploration of the theme of designing destiny. As we move deeper into this journey, we are discovering that designing destiny is not merely a philosophical idea. It is a living experience crafted by the subtle, repeated choices that we make, by the impressions we carry, and by the awareness we cultivate through practice. Integrating Swadhyaya into your daily routine, this quiet invitation continues to serve as a guiding light. With Swadhyaya, our inner world becomes more transparent to us. We begin to witness where we are holding back, where we are flowing, and where we are still reacting out of old tendencies. This self study is not a task, it is an act of love and a doorway to freedom. Last evening, we concluded our reading of the very powerful article Destiny and Freedom of Choice by beloved Daji. It leaves us with a liberating understanding that while we inherit some scars, tendencies, and even biological patterns, we are not locked into them. We can change, and we do change with every conscious thought, every spiritual practice, every moment of inner clarity. In the article, Taji has drawn a very beautiful parallel between the genetics and the destiny. Just as science now tells us that genes are not fixed and that our environment, thoughts, and behaviors can shape genetic expression, this is called epigenetics. So too can our spiritual environment transform our inner architecture. Meditation, inner stillness, purity of heart, all becomes the atmosphere in which our destiny begins to evolve. This truth is incredibly empowering, and it means that no matter our past, no matter what we have inherited, spiritually or genetically, we are not the prisoners of it. Our practices make us pliable, responsive, inwardly supple. The more we clean the weight of the past, the more flexible and expansive we become. And it is this inner flexibility that opens the door to transformation. And what does it take to begin? Truthfulness. Taji says if you want your destiny to be oneness, the first step is to be truthful. The courage to observe what is in the heart without judgment, without fear, sets the foundation for real change. And from there, the process becomes simple and beautiful. Perhaps you know someone quietly seeking peace or meaning in your life, a loved one, a colleague, or even somebody in the neighborhood. Let your own practice be the invitation to them. And you can consider introducing them to the Being Heartful Everyday sessions or even master classes with them. The ripples begin with a single sincere offering. Dear sisters and brothers, yesterday we completed reading The Destiny and Freedom of Choice. However, we'll revisit the article again, allowing its insights to deepen and resonate at a more refined level. Sometimes the second reading reveals what we could not fully absorb the first time. The Science of Spirituality, Evolution of Consciousness series. Sometimes I am caught up in a whirlpool of troubling thoughts. Why do tragedies happen to noble people who are so good? Especially, I have been thinking about the life of Mother Sita from the ancient Indian epic tale, the Ramayana. The Ramayana is the classic hero's journey. as described by Joseph Campbell, a tale of good versus evil, where good eventually triumphs over evil in a great battle. But it is not a happily ever after tale by any means. After being abducted by the evil Ravana and rescued by her noble husband, the avatar Lord Rama, Mother Sita, was then humiliated by him in public. And who knows how many times behind closed doors in the palace. Eventually, she was exiled to the forest without her husband and finally swallowed up by Mother Earth. Swami Vivekananda said about her, to say that she was pure is a blasphemy. She was purity itself embodied, the most beautiful character that ever lived on earth. Despite everything that happened in the epic, she did not find her sufferings or the injustice that was dealt to her. She stayed centered in her Lord. It was a tragic story on par with any of the greatest love stories of the world literature. Lord Rama never remarried, always remained faithful to her, and ended his life by voluntarily walking into the Sarayu River. Now, was this tragedy foretold? None other than the great Saptarishi Vasishtha, one of the seven sages, prophesied the marriage to Lord Rama as the perfect match. According to this great rishi, nothing could go wrong, but instead their whole life was spanned with misery, to the extent that Lord Rama, the all-knower, rejected his wife so many times. Philosophers give all sorts of logical reasons and explanations, but nothing satisfies the heart. This fundamental question keeps coming to me. How is it possible that Rishi Vasishtha fixed a supposedly perfect marriage and yet so many people suffered, especially the main actors in the epic, Lord Rama and Mother Sita? Nothing makes any sense until we discover the understanding that heartfulness gives to us about destiny and the consequences of our choices. And even then, many things are often misunderstood. For example, many people come to a spiritual path and guide to relinquish all responsibility for their destiny, with the hope that the guide will somehow wave a magic wand and their lives will become peaceful and harmonious, and all their troubles disappear. Times of crisis are also when most people turn to God in desperation, with the hope that somehow He will fix their misery. But that is not what this life is about. It is one extreme end of the spectrum of possibilities and is a big misunderstanding. Our lives are guided by our hearts, and our hearts are constantly changing like the weather based on our samskars, the impressions, habits, likes, and dislikes we have accumulated in the past. Dear sisters and brothers, we will take the rest from the reading. Let us reflect not through the words, but through the quiet presence of the vibrations of these words. Let the sense of what we have read settle into your heart's soil. Sorry. As it is time for the universal prayer, let us come together with heart full of love Let us offer the universal prayer together. सभी भाई बहन प्रेम और भक्ति से भर रहे हैं और उनमें सच्ची श्रद्धा दृढ़ होती जा रही है. All brothers and sisters being filled with love and devotion, and real faith is growing stronger in them. Let this universal prayer blossom into love and harmony in every heart and every dear sisters and brothers. As you prepare for the rest tonight, allow a few moments of stillness and inner reflections to guide you into the sleep. Did I live in truth today? Was I open to transformation or resistant to change? What condition did I nurture and how did it shape my actions today? Let your journal or diary hold a few lines from your heart. Let your bedtime prayer be a silent surrender to the beloved Master. And this quiet rhythm, followed consistently, becomes the foundation upon which your destiny is redesigned. We thank you for your sacred presence this evening, dear sisters and brothers. And we look forward to seeing you tomorrow for the evening session at 8:50 p.m. And with this, wishing you all a very good rest and a good night.